Today on Forbes, this Haiti-born doctor built a $6 billion business developing drugs for depression and Alzheimer's. When Ariot Tabuteau started a drug development company in 2012, he decided to do so differently. First, he'd focus on brain disorders, treatments for which are notoriously difficult to develop and whose efficacy can be hard to prove. And he'd be both CEO and the scientific founder, bringing to bear his decades of experience investing in biotech startups and his medical training. But he'd take no venture capital, self-funding with help from friends and family. Speaking to Forbes during his first ever interview with a reporter about his company, Axsome Therapeutics, Tabuteau, who is 57 years old, says, quote, "If you do things exactly the same way as everybody else, you're going to have the same outcomes as everybody else. And we wanted to have outcomes that stand apart." Named for two parts of a nerve cell, the axon and the soma, Axsome has come a long way from its beginnings in a windowless three-desk office in New York's Rockefeller Center, affectionately remembered as, quote, the broom closet. Today, it has 3 drugs on the market and 5 in the pipeline, with the potential to help the estimated 150 million Americans suffering from conditions like depression, ADHD, or Alzheimer's disease. Revenue for the 12 months ended in June reached $495 million, up 70% from the same period in 2024. Axsome is not yet profitable, booking a net loss of $247 million in that time. The company trades on the NASDAQ with a market cap of $6.1 billion. Tabuteau is a billionaire thanks to his 15% stake in it, plus options. He figures Axsome could hit $16.5 billion in peak sales from its current drug portfolio, which would put it among the top 25 drug companies by revenue today. It's a big ask. Only about 25% of drugs do well enough in phase 3 trials to move forward in the FDA process. Tabuteau was born in Haiti, where his birth mother struggled to raise him and his sister. He recalls experiencing neglect of all kinds, quote, physical, nutritional, emotional. But he says now, quote, "It taught me resilience." At age 9, he moved with his dad and adoptive mom to Manhattan's Upper East Side. Degrees in molecular biology and biochemistry from Wesleyan University led him to Yale's School of Medicine, where he planned to become a neurosurgeon. But he was so unsettled by the transparent unhappiness of his physician professors that he opted against a neurosurgery residency in favor of a job at Goldman Sachs' healthcare investment banking group. That was the start of a nearly 2-decade career in finance that included stints at Bank of America Securities and hedge fund HealthCo/SAC Capital, as well as managing his own funds. From his perch on Wall Street, he watched thousands of early-stage biotechs succeed and fail, and began to develop his own theories about what worked and why. While most biotechs focus on just one drug, he realized that building a portfolio would cut the risk of a flop. To keep costs low, he shunned the industry's practice of outsourcing clinical trials, betting he could do it cheaper and with greater chance of success in-house. A phase 3 trial could easily cost $50 million. Tabuteau could do it for 30% to 50% less. Hedging his bets was wise. After going public in 2015, Axsome struggled, not unusual for an early-stage biotech, as drugs can take 10 years to get from idea to market. And while Axsome's trials were cheaper, they were not cheap. The company's stock puttered along at under $10 for years, its market cap dipping below $100 million after an early drug for pain flunked its clinical trial. Axsome's prospects skyrocketed with its first big drug, Auvelity. When the treatment for major depressive disorder gained FDA approval in August 2022, shares popped 65% in a week, valuing the company at $3 billion. The drug combines 2 existing medications for a treatment that can begin to work in just 1 week, compared to 6 or 8 weeks for serotonin-based antidepressants, a huge advantage. And that was just the beginning. For full coverage, check out Amy Feldman's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.